Welcome to the small houses of Slovenian Istria. The small houses were an innovative project that we made up in 2011. The idea it was to offer to the tourists an alternative accommodation, so not the classic rooms, apartments, but it was something really different from what we are used to. So that already from the place that you are sleeping in, you already recognize that you're sleeping in a different environment, rich of culture and natural attractions. So that's why we had the idea of these small houses, which are located in the middle of the vineyards. So the vineyards are in front of us are the Malvasia, and back of us are the Refosco grapes. The small houses are dedicated to our grandmothers, grandmothers that were walking every day from all these hills here around to the big cities, to Koper and better to Trieste. So today on the Italian side in Italy. They were walking there most of the time, just walking other way with the donkeys, to bring the products that they have at home. So they were bringing milk, eggs, bread. So it means that, for example, for the eggs, they were collecting eggs from all over the villages around, and then when they had a certain quantity, they bring it in a basket. We are talking about 200 eggs, so big quantity, not 20 eggs. And they had to be very careful because the eggs should be fresh, not old, other way the guests complained, the customers complained. And then it was the same with the milk, so they were collecting from different villages, from different friends, and then selling to the markets in Trieste. And so again they had to wake up really early in the morning, because other way the milk is not so fresh anymore. For the baking bread, they had big ovens in some of the villages, and every of the women marked her own bread with different marks, so she knows that this is her bread. And then early in the morning again she went to the market and sell it there. This part of Istria, as other parts of Istria, here people were extremely poor because the land is not very kind for cultivation, because we have a lot of small hills, and the fields are really, everyone has small fields all around spread. So it was very hard to work on the fields, and still today, you can't work with big machines, with big tractors, but most of them it was really by hand. So that's why a lot of people moved from this area. We had a big exodus after the Second World War, and also before, of course. And so the grandmothers who were trying to survive, big families, because like my grandma, she had 11 children. She has to figure it out how to survive. So she was selling what she produced at home. So vegetables, chickens. In this way, she tried, because the men went to the war. So, and usually the women stay at home with a lot of children, and so they found their own way how to survive in these conditions.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
In such situations.
So that's why we, when we put these houses here in the middle of the vineyard, we decided to dedicate to them. To these memories of our grandmothers. That's why each of the houses is different, and they are named after this kind of women who were selling different products. So that's why the pink house, it's called the Egg Lady, and it's dedicated to them. And you have in the small house, you have on one side explain the history, the brief history of the Slovenian Istria, and on the other side you have explained also in 3 other languages who were the egg lady, you know, which way she was doing, which way she was walking, what she was carrying, what was typical for her. Then we have the second house, which is the bread lady, so the lady who she was baking the bread, and you have also inside the typical basket that we're using to carry on the head. And then the third house is the milk lady. So again you have the pot that we use for carrying the milk, that she was using for carrying the milk to the big market. All the furniture of the small houses are original from the past. So actually here inside the old wardrobe is of my grandmother. She bring it, it was like called as a dota, you know, so it means when she get married, she bring it to the new home.
Yeah.
And also all the beds and other chairs and the mirror, it's everything, it's from that side, from the past. So the most the oldest wardrobe is from the end of the 19th century. It's in the bread lady in the middle house, and other way all the other furnitures are up to the Second World War. So the houses also doesn't have the electricity, because we would like that people who come here cut off from everyday life, cut off from the computer, from the mobile phones, so switch off, you know. And that's why we decided not to have the electricity in the small houses, but then on the other hand you have everything just next 30 meters away at the reception. So but it's good, you know, to when people are staying for more nights, that they go to sleep when it's dark and then wake up when it's light, you know, so without TV, without computer, and you fall again in the natural rhythm, biologic rhythm, you know. So that's the idea. It was. So not the ordinary accommodation, but something different from every holidays.